So welcome back. In our second video, we're going to continue exploring the notes Sol, Ti, Re, Fa, our dominant seventh chord, in a harmonic context. And this time we're going to look at what happens when we have T in the bass and our new T chord. These next three videos are going to talk about the stepwise dissonances. And if you remember your rule of the octave from written theory, these chords will sound very familiar to you. So let's go to them. What we're talking about in this video now is we're talking about the chord that has T in the bass with the notes Sol, Ti, Re, and Fa. And again, we're going to have all of our zons happening present. So I'm going to have a Ti Do. I'm going to have like a Re Do. I'm going to have like a Fa Mi and Sol Sol. We'll leave out the bossy zons because I'm not putting the bossy zons in the bass, and so often we leave out the bossy zons in that context. If you count up all the intervals, Ti to Re is a third, Ti to Fa is a diminished fifth, it's a false fifth. Ti to Sol is a sixth. This creates our T 6-5-3 chord, going to Do 5-3. Or Romellians with their Roman numerals, they would call this a 5-6-5, going to a 1. The T 6-5-3 will always resolve up by step to the Do 5-3. It's just the way that chord works. We learned in our rule of the octave in written theory. 6-5 chords resolve up by step in the bass to a 5-3 chord. It's the way the chord functions. And so now what you're trying to figure out then is we've learned now three different chords on the T. Really, it's one chord with three different slight variations of flavor. It's like classic vanilla versus French vanilla versus like vanilla custard or vanilla bean ice cream. I can't tell the difference between different types of vanilla ice creams. Maybe vanilla connoisseurs can. They're all vanilla to me. And so, if you only ever get to the point that you hear the Ti Do and you know how these tend to resolve, I'm good with that, honestly. But let's talk about probabilities and which one it's likely to be. So what we're talking about here is we've got three possibilities of T now. I have my T 6-5, which is of course short for T 6-5-3. The first one we learned about was our T 6-3, and we also learned about the T 5-3. Now these two are subtypes of this, because if I were to take away the 6 in this one, I have the T 5-3. The T 5-3 is really the T 6-5-3 without the 6. The T 6-3 is really the T 6-5-3 without the 5 in it, and so there are these contexts. How to distinguish them? T 6-5-3 is always going to resolve up to Do, just the way it works. It's going to resolve up to our Do 5-3. Unless the bass is decorated with a little skip like T Sol Do. But it's always going to resolve very quickly to that Do 5-3. Maybe we'll put a Sol in between. T Sol Do. But you still hear the Ti Do. Even though there's this consonant skip decoration here, you still hear that Ti Do resolution. So we're going to leave that there as our key. It will always go up that way. Same thing with the 5-3 really. That's also going to go to our Do 5-3, because again it's just a thinner version of the T 6-5-3. What goes away? What goes away would be the sixth above this. We would get rid of the Sol here. If I do that, what you see is really this happens more often in a three-voice texture, and so it will be a thinner texture. So this one is not as common as the others, just because of textural issues. It's not a complete harmony. It's not complete here, it's not complete here. Not as common. If you have to guess, don't guess T 5-3. Guess T 6-5-3. Now, there's one other thing here, and that is the T 6-3. It can also go up to Do 5-3, in which case you're doing the same thing that you did with the 5 and the 5-7 chord, the Sol 7-5-3 and the Sol 5-3. Did you hear a Fa Mi or no? That's how you'll be able to tell those two apart. The other possibility is that the T 6-3 can step down to La. and it can step down to a La 6-3, continuing on to like the Sol 5-3. It could do a stepwise Romanesca, Do 5-3, T6-3, La 5-3. But the possibility, because this is a chord of motion and not a chord of dissonance, is that this is flexible to go either way. It can go up or it can go down. So if you ever hear a T in the bass stepping down to La next, what you're looking at here is probably our T6-3 chord would go down to that La. So recapping on this, again, Roman numerals, people would call this a 5-6-5, I call this a 5-6, and because Roman numerals are dumb, even though this is the same chord, just without the 6, but we have to tack a 7 diminished on it. Really stupid. It's the same chord, it's just missing a note because it's a thinner texture. I hate using a different Roman numeral for it because it implies it's a different chord. And it's the same chord, just missing a note. Anyway, those are the Roman numerals. And once again, don't guess this one. It's not as common. You'll hear it in a thinner texture. Guess this one, T6-5-3, going to Do 5-3. If you hear the Fa Mi, the altizans above. If you didn't hear the altizans above, then you're looking at the T6-3, resolving to the Do 5-3. If the T ever steps down to La instead of resolving it to Do, then you know you heard the T6-3.